Today, we're taking on a true paradox of modern mega fandom, an issue at the heart of probably the world's most successful fantasy franchise. We are examining the conflict between a universe expanding exponentially on screen and the very foundation of that universe, still frustratingly incomplete on the page. On one hand, HBO, a massive commercial engine, is promising 5 or 6 new series. That's an exciting number for TV show lovers. But for book readers, their deepest fear, that the author is prioritizing something else, has been confirmed on a colossal, multi-project scale. Our mission today is to synthesize George R.R. Martin's candid updates to understand the true state of the Westeros media empire. The scoop comes directly from Martin himself, speaking at the Iceland Noir Festival, with quotes picked up by MovieWeb. This wasn't a corporate press release. It was Martin speaking to fellow writers and readers, offering unfiltered insights into his work process. He confirmed that several new Game of Thrones projects are now being developed. This feels like an understatement given the scale. HBO has realized the rich history of Westeros isn't just a gold mine. It's an entire geological layer ready for extraction. After the main series, many spin-off ideas were explored, with the Long Night pilot being the most infamous casualty. Only House of the Dragon was greenlit, proving the concept could stand alone. And it did, massively. Now, with Hot D's huge success, HBO is ready to expand the world of Westeros with unprecedented speed and volume. House of the Dragon is firmly established, preparing for its 3rd season, a massive long-term commitment. The next confirmed series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, based on the Dunk and Egg novellas, is scheduled to arrive next year. Martin confirmed 5 or 6 series in development beyond Hot D and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is truly mind-boggling. This suggests a colossal commitment from HBO, transforming the universe into a full-fledged cinematic history, rivaling Marvel or Star Wars. Most are prequels, which makes commercial sense, given the rich, structured history he's already published in works like Fire and Blood. The history of the Targaryen dynasty, the Age of Heroes, key events in Essos. It's all source material that is largely finished and ready for adaptation. But he also confirmed some sequels are being developed, looking forward past the controversial ending of Game of Thrones. This means creating new lore that fans may or may not accept, reopening old wounds from the finale. Martin stressed he is not developing them alone, but working with other people. His role shifts from solitary author to chief creative architect. He's approving concepts, guiding lore decisions, reviewing treatments, ensuring consistency across 6 different potential television universes simultaneously. This massive coordinated pipeline cannot be the singular effort of one man. It's a full-time, high-level, corporate oversight job. That workload, regardless of his writing speed, is enormous, and it directly competes for his intellectual energy and time. If he's reviewing costume designs for a Bravo show, he's not sitting at his keyboard writing the next Arya chapter. Writing a novel requires a sustained, deep, solitary mental state. Overseeing a media empire requires constant context switching. The scale is massive. What do these 5 or 6 shows actually look like? HBO and Martin have been exploring possibilities for years. First up, Aegon's Conquest, covering Aegon and his sisters riding 3 dragons to forge the 7 kingdoms. Then, an animated series about Queen Nymeria, highlighting animation as a crucial format for managing budget and scale. The long-rumored concept of stories set in E.T., the great golden empire in the Far East, breaks us out of familiar Westeros. A proposed Corlys Valerian project, The Sea Snake, would focus on his earlier life as a great explorer, charting the known world. And then there's the Jon Snow sequel, the most high-profile sequel idea, tapping into recognizable figures from the original series. Other concepts include a Bravo series, leaning into the politics of the free cities and the mysterious faceless men. The ambition isn't limited to episodic television. The list also included the possibility of a film being produced. These ideas illustrate one crucial thing. The massive creative landscape Martin and HBO are considering is entirely drawn from his finished histories. Now we address the core controversy, the monumental weight and absolute lack of progress on the Winds of Winter. The excitement of screen projects crashes headlong into the decade-long disappointment felt by novel readers. We are approaching a decade and a half since the publication of the last book, A Dance with Dragons. The reader frustration is palpable. Martin's latest comments suggest the novel is still not his main focus. How could it be, overseeing this massive construction site of new series? For years, readers hoped the TV focus was temporary. But now the news is that the expansion is accelerating. It feels like a genuine creative betrayal to a segment of the audience that provided the very foundation for this entire empire. Fan frustration peaked at a recent event where an attendee explicitly asked Martin to let another writer finish the books. That request is the nuclear option for a reader, the ultimate expression of resignation, highlighting the desperate desire for narrative closure. It signals a psychological shift. The readership is transitioning from demanding authorial fidelity to simply demanding an ending. Martin admitted, "I know there's all this controversy surrounding The Winds of Winter and its delay, but I've always had issues with deadlines." His heart, his creative muse, is clearly divided between projects that offer different types of creative satisfaction. He stated, "I love The Winds of Winter. I'm interested in it. I'm working on it." But then comes the critical qualifier. "Honestly, I also love these other things, like the series The Night of the Seven Kingdoms." That simple admission changes everything. It suggests the delay is not about writer's block, but a genuine, powerful, unquenchable, creative enthusiasm for simultaneous competing projects. The solitary, complex plotting required for the books is less appealing than participating in the development of a collaborative, exciting new TV show. The television work offers him immediate creative gratification and visible progress, often achieved through collaboration. Martin's energy isn't depleted. It's diverted into more instantly rewarding endeavors. The TV universe is winning. He's taking his finished literary work, the histories, the lore, and using that as the raw material for the TV engine. He gets to be the genial Grand Maester overseeing his history rather than the isolated novelist struggling under the weight of his own creation. This is a form of creative self-preservation, but it comes at the cost of his literary legacy. What have we learned about creative output versus commercial pressure in the age of global streaming? Martin's comments confirm his work schedule is driven by a genuine, shared, creative vision for the whole world of Westeros. The disappointment for novel readers is that those vast finished histories are the perfect feedstock for the TV factory. The main unfinished narrative requires a singular concentration he seems unwilling or unable to prioritize right now. It's a profound tension. The literary legacy of A Song of Ice and Fire hinges entirely on those final two books. But the massive, sustained commercial empire of Westeros relies entirely on the finished history that Martin has already produced. We are watching an author prioritize the joy of expanding his world over the duty of concluding his narrative. The success of the completed historical world is paradoxically dependent on the non-completion of the main story. As long as the book remains unfinished, the vast, detailed, pre-written history remains the most viable source material. This ensures Martin remains the indispensable chief architect of his own unfinished world. Something profound to think about.